New ideas about the $2,000 stimulus check are presented even outside Congress. Billionaire Mark Cuban took the time to share some of his ideas about how the economy can be boosted in terms of consumer demand and jumpstart the economy. And one of his ideas involves a bi-monthly stimulus check. In his words, the only thing that would save businesses is consumer demand. No amount of loans to businesses will save them or jobs if the consumers are not buying. What is up everyone, it's Alex here. This is your second stimulus check and second stimulus package update as of May 20th. If you are new here, welcome. On this channel we talk about personal finance, investing and financial independence. And for now I keep you up to date to all things related to stimulus checks and stimulus packages. If you never heard about Mark Cuban and you are wondering who the hell is this guy, he is a billionaire, the owner of Dallas Mavericks and one of the main shark investors on the show Shark Tank. One of Mark Cuban's ideas involves a stimulus plan that would send the American households $1,000 stimulus checks every 2 weeks for 2 months. This is a $2,000 per month stimulus check idea, but instead of having a one-time payment of $2,000, people would receive $1,000 every 2 weeks. But there's a catch. The way that he presented the idea is that those who received the $1,000 stimulus check would have to spend the money within 10 days and whatever is left and not spent will be taken away. Under his idea, if someone would receive the $1,000 and they would not spend it within 10 days, they would lose everything. If someone would spend $800 out of the $1,000, then that person would lose only what's left, which is the $200. Not spending the entire amount would not disqualify anyone from receiving the next round, and it is basically a use it or lose it approach. The purpose of his idea is that the stimulus that would be provided in this way would boost the economy and help stabilize the job market. This method of sending money with a deadline to spend it would boost the liquidity of the people, which would lead them to spend more, which would provide businesses with more money, which will be incentivized to hire more people because they would have income coming in, which would incentivize again the people to spend more, and the circle continues as you can see. What's not bad at all is that the cost of Mark Cuban's idea is around $500 billion. It's a very ingenious idea in my opinion because it forces the stimulus to be dispersed into the economy. According to what he was saying, a good portion of the people who received the stimulus checks are more incentivized to save the money for a later use or for something unexpected. And those who are still employed are less incentivized to spend and are more incentivized to save their money because there's a lot of uncertainty for the future. So in this way, people would be provided with money and those money would be dispersed in the economy because people would have to spend the money because otherwise they would lose it. Because in times like this, consumer spending actually decreases, and considering that the US GDP is comprised of 70% consumer spending, then it makes sense to give people money with the obligation for them to spend it because otherwise they will not boost the economy. Just compare this with the CARES Act. The CARES Act had a price tag of $2.2 trillion and it is estimated that about $1 trillion were not yet dispersed into the economy. So only about half of the money that were provided through the CARES Act were actually used to boost the economy. The 1 trillion is not yet in the economy and hence you hear the wait and see approach that the Senate is preaching. Oh, we need to wait and see the impact that the first stimulus had on the economy. That's where it comes from. I know this is just a proposal and this man has no power to make a proposal or anything like that, but it is worth exploring because it has a different approach than anything else. The way he views this is to help the people because the people will help the economy and the businesses and not the other way around. In his view, it's the people who support the economy and the businesses, and it's not the businesses that support the people and the economy. For some updates, during the testimony of the Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, they mentioned that about $1 trillion from the CARES Act did not yet hit the economy. So those money are still tied up in the businesses or in the families, and they were not dispersed in the economy, and hence they have the wait and see approach to determine what's going to be the impact of the upcoming 1 trillion that's going to be released during the next couple of weeks to the next couple of months. Apparently this is the reason that the Senate has the wait and see approach, because about $1 trillion, like half of the CARES Act, was not yet injected in the economy and the effects of the $1 trillion that are yet to be dispersed in the economy are not seen. Mnuchin said that the Treasury is not afraid to spend more money and it will spend more money in order to help the economy if needed. However, they don't just want to spend unnecessarily. On the other side, the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is convinced that more money should be inserted in the economy and more stimulus should be provided, especially to those that are losing their jobs, and so many of them might not be able to get their jobs back after this thing passes. We know from their study that about 95% of the people that lost their job expect to get their job back after this whole Roni thing passes, but only about half of those people will get their jobs back. That's with a positive outlook at the future. Also, there are some pointers that the debate of the HEROES Act in the Senate might be pushed to the beginning of June. But you know, as with all these things, tomorrow things can change and what I've just said could be wrong because they could decide that they would start and debate it sooner, but we have no idea. But there are some pointers that it will take until the beginning of June for them to start debating, start voting on the HEROES Act, and to start stripping some of the fat that's been introduced in that proposal. Alright everyone, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Feel free to destroy the like button if you enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe to become part of the family and to participate in the giveaways once I get monetized. And until next time, my friends, take care and have a wonderful day.